Hello, everyone. Okay, I just realized I didn't even put you guys on the screen. Okay, let me see. All right.
I was like, I can't see Roma. This feels weird.
Oh wait, what did you say?
I was like, at first I was like, I can't see Roma.
Yeah, same.
All right, what a great intro to the interview series. All right, let me just make sure that we are live. Are you guys in the same round? You
Yeah.
guys are?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. All right, so we are live. Let me pin us to the announcement. All right, so I have my. I'm echoing, aren't I?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. So we have our students, our awesome students, part two, and they're going to be talking about their passion project journey and how they felt before they started and what they actually had to do to create an amazing passion project. And at the end, I'll share like their website and links and anything else in the comment section below. But why don't we go ahead and get started with a quick introduction? So we got Fiona and Roma. And so Fiona, do you want to get started and just give us a quick introduction?
Okay, so I'm Fiona. I'm in Utah, and I didn't start the program with Julie until February of this year, and I'm a junior. So yes.
No, like what is your interest?
Okay, so I really like. So I'm planning on doing medicine because specifically like immunology or dermatology, but I'm not sure yet because I have eczema, and that's kind of like what my passion project is based around. And I also really like fashion and makeup, so that's also part of my passion project. It's like a mix of them.
Yeah, I found that contrast really appealing. Because you were like, I'm going to go to pre-med and do research and all this kind of stuff. And at the same time, you had this like personal interest of yours. And that contrast was something that was really interesting. Awesome. Roma, introduction, please.
So I'm Roma. I'm going to be a rising junior and I'm in South Jersey. So my passion project, my academic interest, I also want to pursue medicine. I want to go pre-med, but I look at it from kind of a different standpoint. I'm really interested in healthcare and health policy. And I've kind of just created my entire passion project, a few of my projects based around my interests in healthcare and helping students who are interested in that, as well as allowing physicians to speak on controversial healthcare issues that we've been seeing, especially with COVID and the recent protests. And I really try to relate all of the content on my website to what's going on in modern times today.
Yeah, and you both are going to be, you guys said both doctors, right? Or
Hopefully, the plan.
you will, don't worry. And it's so interesting because you guys are approaching it from very different lenses, I feel like. And Roma was very, like Roma from the very beginning, she was like, yeah, I want to approach it from a policy perspective, more from like actually helping the doctors. And I was like, wow, that's very okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and like rewind to like before you actually had a platform and a website and a research position. How are you feeling? And I think a lot of students here are probably going to be able to relate to how you guys felt before. So let's tap into that a little bit. Like, what were your concerns with passion projects? How to navigate this process? So, Fiona, you want to get started?
Yeah. Okay. So before I started junior year and ending of my sophomore year, I was super confused about where I was really headed, and I thought I had to do the same things as my other peers who are really academically competitive. They're all doing like science fair and competing and stuff, and I just like wasn't really into that. So I was like, okay, I don't really have that. Um, so I saw Julie's page, and I was like, oh, I think I could actually do this. But I was kind of concerned about like like what the results would be. But going through this process, I think that it doesn't really matter because I feel like I have a direction now. So no matter what happens, I think I found something that I like doing that combines my interests.
Let's talk about competitions a little bit. I feel like not everyone is born to like compete and like get awards and do all of those like competitive things. And I think it's important to just acknowledge that you don't have to always be competing. Instead, you can do something that you're truly passionate about. So I think that's a really, really good point. Because I hate competitions. I'm like scared of them. And that doesn't mean that I'm like a bad person or not a smart person, you know? So I love that point. Awesome. Thank you for sharing your before feelings. Uh, Roma, what about you? I know you had a very solid idea. So I think that is also interesting to see how you felt before.
Yeah, so I knew that I was interested in doing something with healthcare or public health in addition to pursuing pre-med, but I just had no idea what that was. And I feel like looking around my school personally, I didn't find too many opportunities or ways to get involved for students that are interested in pursuing any type of health related field. And I felt like I didn't have that strong foundation, like that strong idea. And coming to Julie definitely kind of helped ease that because it just let me put the pieces together and put time into things and effort into things that I actually cared about. So I was able to, one of my passion projects is discovering healthcare, and I'm basically able to provide students at my school with resources and guidance who are interested in pursuing health related fields. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm actually setting up an ambassador program right now where I'm helping other students with that and help at their schools. So it's really exciting that I'm also one of those students who wanted to have that guidance, and being able to also provide that to other students is great.
That's crazy. In a good way. I was gonna say your passion project, like when I go on your website, it looks like an organization that's been there for a while. I mean, I know you do episodes and things like that, and you like literally fast tracked your process. And I know the reason. I think it's because you are really passionate about this topic, right? So
Yeah.
like talk a little bit more about how quickly you were able to create this and how passion played a role there.
Yeah, so I think what happened was I was kind of stuck in a spot. And, once I figured out what I was going to do, I started putting together my website. I started doing interviews with physicians because that's another part of my bigger project called Healthcare at the Helm. I started interviewing physicians about controversial healthcare issues that are going on. And I started writing blog posts. And I put together my website. And then when I brought it to one of Julie's calls, she was like, "Oh, add some more pictures." She gave me some great feedback. And then I remember that week, I was so determined to just make my entire website look so much better. Like, I would spend hours on my computer putting in pictures, writing blog posts, working on episodes, doing interviews, because I just really, really cared about it. And now I've been trying to, produce episodes as fast as possible, speak with as many experts as I can, just publish as many posts on my blog. And I'm really happy that I was able to find something that I'm so like interested in and I'm so passionate about, for sure.
And now you're looking for ambassadors and such, so you're like taking it to the next level even. Yeah. What do you guys think about like the brainstorming part of the passion project? I think I personally believe that I love the brainstorming part more than anything because it's so fun. Where I'm like, oh my gosh, like do this or do that. Like, what about this? And I just kind of like off. But like, how is the brainstorming part of the process? You want to start, Fiona?
Yeah, okay. So I knew what I like to do, but I know I like to do a lot of things. And so coming into this, I was like, I don't know what I want to do because I'm interested in so many things. But I think Julie found a really great way to put like two interests together that really worked for me. It was kind of like a light bulb moment. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was really fun.
Awesome.
For me, I think, as I said before, I was a little stuck, but Julie helped me. She was the first one who said, "Why don't you do an interview series where you interview physicians about controversial health topics?" And I just never thought, and you just brought, and I was like, whoa. And I was talking to my parents, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And having that process, where I was kind of going through it with each of my projects, I was really trying to refine it, and just having that brainstorming process there, kind of reassuring yourself, getting all of your thoughts together was so helpful. Even in the beginning, with your theme and everything, just being able to write down all of my extracurriculars, all of my interests, and kind of just pull that into one thing that just made sense was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think when we have a very clear idea of your theme, coming up with an idea is actually really fun. I'm like, good thought. And then sometimes students are like, whoa, like that's a little too much. But I think you guys really took that and then turned it into a project. Awesome. So let's talk about professor outreach process. A lot of students are like in disbelief that students actually can land positions. And so they're like, really? Like that could really happen. So why don't you guys share about the entire process and what results you had?
Okay, so basically you research a ton of professors in your area, and now that COVID's here, we've been researching professors that are at Ivy League colleges and like outside of our state as well. Actually, it's been really great because I think a lot of them are responding more now during the time. So I reached out to, let's see, the first one that I got a response from was UC San Diego. And because I'm interested in immunology and like dermatology kind of like mixed together, I found a professor that was like spot on with what I wanted to research. And so I emailed him and he emailed me back. And he said I could go into the lab later if coronavirus was over, but that didn't really happen because it's not over. But he still gave me research to do. And yeah, and articles to read. So you still get to learn a lot from reaching out to professors, even during this time.
Was it very like, nervous in the beginning to work on the email? Like, how did you feel?
Yeah, because normally when we reach out to professors, we have an impression that they're like never going to respond because they're like such important people that have so many busy like lives to live. But I think that we get a sense that professors want to help you, and you can learn a lot from the process.
Yeah, and all you have to do is just follow the template, and it's also very like it's like a science experiment is the way that I say it. So like if less people are like if you're not getting as many calls with professors, it's the email that needs to be fixed. If you're getting a lot of calls but you're not landing the position, it is uh, the preparation for the interview that needs to be improved. So I think oftentimes when someone doesn't respond or something, they're like, oh my gosh, I knew this was going to happen. Like, I'm not good enough, smart enough, whatever. But it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the strategy that needs a little bit of tweaking and improvement, right? So, great, awesome. What about you, Roma?
So I had a unique experience because I was in South Jersey, and that it took a lot longer than a lot of other areas in the United States to get better. So I was getting calls with professors, but oftentimes they were saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, like we're not going to be able to offer something in the lab." So I started reaching out to other professors, and like Fiona said, just Ivy League professors, anywhere that I was interested. And I was really excited that I got responses back. And even if that one professor said that he might not be able to, he referred me to other people.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful, especially even if they're able to provide resources for me, ways to learn more, get involved. And another thing about the professor outreach template itself is that it can be used to reach out to organizations.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for ways to collaborate with organizations with healthcare at the helm. So I use that same exact template, and I just changed up a little bit, and then I've sent it to some organizations, and I've gotten some calls, and I'm hoping to send out some more so that way I can collaborate.
Oh, that's such a great point. I totally forgot about, which is some students are like, Julie, maybe I don't want to do research, but like, how can I reach out to like organizations or like companies where I can maybe get an internship, or how can I network with people via LinkedIn? And I'm like, duh, just use the email template that you have, and it just works wonders. And so Yeah, that's a really, really great point. Awesome. Anything else you guys want to share? I think some students are saying, like, how do you have the time to work on all of this? Like, do you guys have any tips and strategies for that? I mean, we give you what to work on, so I think it takes a lot of the guesswork out. But do you guys have any like tips on strategies on how to balance all of this with schoolwork?
Well, I'm gonna say, like, first off, Julie keeps you really accountable. So I don't think I could have done this process if she wasn't like, okay, like guiding me through it. So I think she's really helpful in that. But balancing it with school, I think for the most part is like when you think of when you have like free time when you're like watching Netflix, you could be spending that time like working on passion project, and it's actually really fun. Like working on a website and like interviewing people is really fun. And so just take more of your like passive time that you're using to like not really educate yourself to go work on it, I think is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And especially, I would say choose something that you're really passionate about because there was a certain point, especially because we shifted to virtual school, that my passion project was number one and school was number two because I was so like dedicated to it. And even that, I was able to balance it. You know, like Fiona said, use that extra time that you have to try and work on it because it truly is so, so rewarding. And like for example, yesterday I sat down to watch Netflix. It was like 11:30, and then I ended up on the I was watching interviews. And I enjoyed it. I was glad that I like didn't end up watching it because you can learn so much from at least like seeing what other people are doing and thinking about like how can I make my project even better. For sure.
So you guys still do watch Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Let's not give the wrong impression that all we do is work.
No, we don't. I don't think so.
Be passionate about it, like,
Yeah.
more quickly. And it's so much more fun. So, great. You have something really today. I'm going to talk about. I got it. What did you say earlier? One thing is talk about that. You guys are in the program with other students, right? And you guys are collaborating. Roma, I don't know if you're collaborating, but I know Fiona, you're definitely collaborating. How does that feel? Like being in a room with or a space with people that are also doing something similar to yours. Let's talk about that, being in that community.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's stream. Maddie was on there, and I've become really close friends with Maddie through her like posting on her Instagram saying, I need help with this tutoring website. And so I was like, okay, I'll come help and tutor. And so then we became really great friends, and it's really nice to have a friend who doesn't go to the same school as you, but is still really academically, I don't know, they want to achieve a lot because we can talk about a lot of things, and we've collaborated on podcasts together. We do the tutoring thing together. She's kind of like my pen pal. She is my pen pal. So it works really great.
Yeah, so I also am working with Maddie on the tutoring thing, and I was actually on her podcast yesterday. We filmed a podcast episode about how I've been working with COVID and healthcare and everything. So yeah, we've definitely been working together. And then another student, Nikki, I've actually become pretty good friends with her, and I'm a co-founder of her summer program called Science Zooms, where we provide a summer camp for kids K through 5 doing fun science experiments where we can just talk to the kids and give them an educational, fun experience, especially since a lot of camps aren't running right now. So having people to collaborate with, and like Fiona said, having people that are academically competitive but not at your school are so nice because you can just talk about your passion project with them. You're just like, I remember Nikki and I were just running things by like, oh, what about this blog post? Like, do you think that the pictures look good? And we're just completely open with that. So it's great, honestly. Yeah.
It's so good to see you guys become really close friends. Like that is amazing. And it's kind of awkward to talk about these kinds of things with like people at your school. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, we're competing So I don't know how much. Yeah, totally. Awesome. That sounds really great. I think we're gonna just wrap it up here. You guys shared so much. Anything else you guys want to share?
I think some people were asking about like our themes on our websites, right? Do we put that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. So Fiona and Roman, send me an email with your websites and everything, and I'll go ahead and add it to the. I'll like do a post with Maddie and everyone else's. Go ahead and put that.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
echo, right? So weird.
yeah. I just want to say, if like you know or anyone or you're interested in becoming an ambassador of my program and trying like bringing that more, that could definitely be a great experience for high school students. I just wanted to put that out there in case anyone was interested.
We were all about promotions here. One of the things, the last question I want to ask you guys is for these students, if they're thinking about working on the passion project with me and using our system, which you both used, what would you share with them? And you don't need to say anything you don't believe in. Just like what would be like your honest suggestion for them?
So I think I was kind of skeptical starting out at first, as like any student would be, you know, because I don't know, none of my siblings have gone through this program or anything. But I think when I got started, it kind of like clicked in my head that like even if I don't get like the most amazing results out of this, I still would have like found a direction that I'm going into, and I'll be able to like expand my platforms and do something that I really like doing for the next while, until I find something new to do. So I think it's given me a lot of direction, and it's been a fun experience as well. So I think it's definitely worth it. And beyond that, it's like you can reach out to professors, you can do a lot of amazing things. There's like some things that I didn't think that I would ever be able to do. Like I'm starting to write a book now, and I never thought that I would. So it's fun.
I always encourage my students to like publish a book. I'm like, oh, just publish a book, and they're like, okay. But it's like so doable, you know. It's very step by step, but it's very doable. Great. What about you, Roma?
I would say that again, like the passion, if it's there, it's just because it's called a passion project for a reason. Like, because Julie, she just has that system where you really hone in on what you care about. And it definitely did give me a sense of direction because it felt like I was putting time into something that I really did care about and that I wanted to do something about, and that I wanted to interview physicians and I wanted to just create something more. And yeah, the system is just, if you want some direction, if you're feeling a bit lost, especially I personally think that I did it just around the right time, kind of mid sophomore year when I felt that, you know, I could be doing more, but I just wasn't sure what. It was just the perfect thing to kind of bring me back and just really dedicate my time to something great.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Thank you both of you for sharing your time. I know it's Sunday. And we'll go ahead and add in all the links to your platform. We'll create like a good post for you guys. Okay, thank you, Fiona, Roma. Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone tuning in. Have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.